I'm Usha Jivan. I'm a 61-year-old single mom. I have a son aged 35 and a daughter aged 33. And my children have gone on, my son has gone on to be an investment banker, and he's a venture capitalist across Africa. My daughter is a counseling psychologist who practices in Johannesburg. As far as my business is concerned, I'm the sole shareholder and managing director of a company called BE Score Pty Limited. We do BEE verifications of businesses nationally. And we have assessed entities that range from small to medium companies to the large corporates to public entities and state tenders as well. I'm a lawyer by profession. I lectured in law for about 16 years, and I practiced as an attorney. And after realizing, having spent 20 years in the legal sphere, I felt like I needed a change, and also to get out of my comfort zone of teaching courses, the same courses over a period of years. I was invited at the end of 2006, early 2007, by an entrepreneur and a chartered accountant who offered a business opportunity. And I thought about it, and I said to myself initially, I'm not sure if I want to get into a business because I've been in academia for so many years. And then I had a change of heart, and I decided to actually go to the meeting. And from that meeting, there were at least 3-4 of us who became the co-founders of BEE Score, with me being the only female. And the lesson I think I learned from that was that I must be able to explore new opportunities and not sit in my comfort zone. And this is where and how I am where I am right now. Having gotten into the business and was very instrumental in starting off the business, BEE has been a grudge purchase from the time that the legislation came about, which was in 2007. And as a group of 4 people, I had a lot of academic background. So I was very instrumental in drafting the policies and regulations so that we could start practicing the rules, even though we didn't have practical manuals as a guide to do so. So we had to find our way around it in the initial years. But at the end of the day, today I'm sitting in a successful business, and from 2011, I became the managing director of the company. I have quite a few achievements from the point of view of my legal career, and as well as community achievements. As far as the business goes, I would like to think that my achievements lie mainly in drafting and developing a policy manual together with the CEO of the company at that point in time. And the other thing that I think we achieved, and successfully, is that I recall having done a lot of presentations and seminars both in Durban and Johannesburg. Because BEE was a grudge purchase, we had to educate our new clients that came on board. We had to educate communities on the advantages and of BEE audits. And I think the whole idea also was to make sure that we are economically transforming the South African economy. So that for me was quite an achievement, because it took my teaching background, which assisted me tremendously. I also, with my academic teaching and training passion, I did compelling presentations to many audiences, even on a broader basis as well, as far as my achievements are concerned. In the very recent past, I was requested and I was invited to present at seminars and webinars with the BEE Chamber South Africa, together with the SA Chamber UK. So I presented on their webinars on ownership options, especially for global entities who struggle with achieving the levels that they require for BEE compliance. And I presented on ownership, and very recently also on the new draft employment equity regulations as well. And also very recently in July 2023, I presented at an Enterprise and Supply Development Seminar at the ICC in July on an interesting topic called Transformational versus Transactional, BEE. As far as the community achievements go as well, I was one of the drafters of street law manuals for educators as well as for learners. The thing that fascinated me a lot about street law, this was when I was a lecturer, was that it was very empowering. I was involved in street law for educators and learners and published in these books. The thing about street law that fascinated me was that how empowering it was. What we did is that I myself personally attended to people and prisoners in prison. I went to prison quite a few times in order to educate these youngsters as well as adults who had no idea why they were arrested. So I in a very simplistic way, explained what their offenses meant, what they needed to do, and how they needed to do that. This is a tool also that assisted in developing and uplifting the lives of young children with teaching skills as well as with educators. In addition to that, I presented a paper at the Commonwealth Legal Conference in Sri Lanka on the legal recognition of same-sex marriages. I have been very passionate about transformation and about uplifting women and people that are in the minority and oppressed. As far as my motivation goes, BEE, as I said, in the initial years, there were no accompanying manuals to assist us. So between myself and two of the shareholders, we took it upon ourselves to find our way through it. However, my motivation came largely from the then CEO of the company when the company was launched. I was just one of the co-founders. When the company was launched, this gentleman was, I think, my motivation and my inspiration. I drew from his knowledge, I drew from his experience. He taught me on how we proceed with BEE audits, and he actually was probably my biggest motivator. In addition to that as well, my principal, who I served my legal articles of clerkship with, is a woman who demonstrates power and resilience. This woman has been probably also a great inspiration to me. I learned a lot from her, and to this day, she is my inspiration. We have contact, and she's in her 80s. And this, for me, is somebody that I look up to. She's in her 80s. She's practicing as an attorney from 1964 and still continues to go to her office every day. I can see myself following in those footsteps as I age, I'd like to think. And I think finally, over and above all of that, my greatest inspiration comes from my son and daughter. I think one of the key challenges on the BEE front was to educate business owners and to educate communities about what the effects of economic transformation would do to South Africa. In the earlier days, they didn't buy into the concept. And that was a huge challenge. And in order to address that challenge, I recall having done quite a lot of presentations, talks at the Durban Chamber of Commerce, at the Johannesburg Chamber of Commerce, and also we had groups of people, business owners, where we had to educate them on the benefits of economic transformation, which obviously would lead to job creation and economic sustainability of businesses. So I think the way that I overcame those challenges also is I immersed myself. I went into areas that I did not have the commercial confidence initially with, but as time went along, I think I'm proud to say that I know every aspect of my business intimately. And also for me, the adage of working on your business as opposed to working in your business, which has resonated across boardrooms for years. And for the past few years, I have spent more of my time working on my business. And what this has done for me, it's that it has given my female management team the opportunity to grow and take over some of the areas of the business that I was involved in. And I'm absolutely proud because I look forward to these managers and administrators who have been with me, some for 12 years, some for 10 years. And we effectively a female managed company. So I look forward to them growing so that they can actually achieve, the purposes and the outcomes that they wish for. My future goals are, firstly, to continue with the education of organizations. The reason for that is we always encounter, we have new clients coming in from time to time. And very often we find that they require training. So for the future, we would continue to train organizations, to train individuals. And we've done a lot of training mainly for the state-owned and public entities. For my future, I look forward to furthering the development of my amazing and incredible team that I wish that they would take the business to greater heights in the coming future. I will always be there. I can't see myself stop working like my ex-principal, but I want to develop women. I want to further their education and grow the business exponentially within the next 5 years to one that has a completely national presence. My advice to women really would be embrace change, have a balance between your minds and your body, have a work-life balance. Also, learning. Continue learning, because when you learn, you are improving. You're improving yourself. So for me, it's the learning, and also do not focus on narratives that you come across about what women should be. Because you are a stronger person today because you were weak once. You are a happy person today because you were sad before. So I think that the learning part of it is very critical. Embracing change, having a balance in life. And I think my message also to women getting into business or following our paths is make sure that you have a notebook and don't ever be late for a meeting. I spend a lot of time on myself, on my mind. I do meditation, but I've also in the last 5 to 6 years spent a lot of time on training. I've had a training coach. I do a lot of walking. I partake in all the races that we have, not only in Durban, but also in Johannesburg, because we have a huge client presence in Johannesburg. So I commute between both Durban and Johannesburg. So I take care of my health. I thought about all the achievements that I've done, and I was excited to be part of this KZN Top Businesswomen's team.